Want to write a successful motivation letter or personal statement for Commonwealth shared scholarships? Today I'm going to share some tips with you. This is Zoha Javed, the Commonwealth shared scholar at the University of Nottingham for MA Public Policy. Let's begin. So here are some quick tips. Make sure that you have a very strong evidence-based story. Secondly, you need to make sure that the style of your writing is motivational and passionate. It's not an academic paper you're writing, it's your life story. Third, if there is an idea that you have come up with or there's a major milestone in your life, you can make that particular thing the anchor of your entire story. And lastly, make sure that you have a proper structure for your personal statement. It's like a chain of events in your life that you are putting down in a paper and you're making sure that it connects all together. So how to do that? Let's talk about the structure. First of all, start with a very impactful introduction. By introduction, we do not mean your name or your academic background. No. Here you're going to talk about some statement that tells the gravity of the situation that you're pursuing. For example, climate change or population growth or birth rate or any other thing like climate justice or women's rights. Start with some stats maybe, or start with an event or an incident that really personally impacted you and made you interested to study this field. Secondly, after you have penned down a very strong introduction that is like a breakthrough, like the first chapter of a book that has grasped the attention of your reader, you move on to your next paragraphs. Take it like steps. First, cover your academic experience. Connect it to your area of study. If this incident that you talked about or this issue made you select a particular degree or caused a very huge shift in your academic journey, for example, from medical studies to social sciences studies, talk about that, because then that shows evidence that you are not just passionate about something, you did something about it. So talk about your academic experience, mention your GPA or any project that you're really proud of, and then follow it up with your research experience, some essays that you wrote, or journal articles, or really your thesis. Next up, you're going to talk about your voluntary experience, your leadership experience. If you joined any university clubs or societies, or if you volunteered at any NGO, or whatever community service project you did in the final year of your bachelor's, mention that. Try to make it a bit result-oriented. How many people you impacted? What change did you create? Put it in numbers. And then that creates kind of like an effect on the reader. Next up, you're going to talk about your work experience. Now, Commonwealth does not require any work experience, but if you have work experience, then it can be an added bonus, because now you're providing evidence that you're doing something about this field of study in your life. You're going to talk about some leadership qualities. You're going to talk about what you brought to the table, some values, and some number of achievements. Put it into figures. That would be really great. It's like really an interview that you're giving, but it's like written and not spoken. So take it like that. Next up, you're going to talk about how the continuation of your study in this field will help you achieve XYZ target. This is something that you must have mentioned in your development impact statement as well. So reiterate it, but like not exactly like that, but kind of like connected with this event or incident that you mentioned in your introduction, connect it with that, and how the degree that you're pursuing is going to help you in this goal. And finally, summarize it all together and in the form of like a future value. What future value are you going to add to Commonwealth Alumni Network? Mention that. If it's a research that has a great scope for further research in the future, or it's not investigated much, that's a very good case. So in this way, what you have done so far, if you write it this way, this is how I write my personal statements, is that you're not just telling them a story about yourself, you are giving them evidence, an evidence-based story. You're giving them evidence that you've done something about it. So let's see, if you read two papers, one is just talking about passion and passion and passion and some life-changing events, then the reader, they read motivational letters like that all the time. But the moment they're going to read a motivational letter that talks about some evidence, some voluntary experience, some result, they're going to stop, and then they're going to consider you as a prospective candidate. So keep the perspective of your examiner in your mind and then write your personal story. It's like you're giving a speech in front of an audience and judges. It's like you need to inspire them. And if you think you're not there yet, then don't apply and wait it out. Take a gap and get that voluntary experience, get that work experience, do something about it. And then it will count, you know? Otherwise, if you don't have enough evidence in your life about whatever it is that you're passionate about, then it might be that your chances are thin. And it's a great signal for you to do something about it then in your country. Now, I know it's not always easy, but you can always find some online ways, some kind of like activism or going to protests or like signing up as a volunteer at an NGO that kind of like treats this issue. For example, if it's climate change or if it's women's rights, any incident in Pakistan or in India or in any other country, if there's a protest, if there's a movement, join it, sign up for it. Then you can say that you did something, right? So kind of like collect all these little puzzle pieces, put it together in your motivation letter, and then you will be recognized. So best of luck. If you have any questions, you can always DM me. Thank you.